selling needs.
Stay informed and entertained all day long. Only on WVNN.
Welcome into Hometown Heartbeat. I am Zach Walker, checking in this morning with producer Connor. I'm not even sure who's on the board. Maybe Tony Mack. Is that Tony Mack over there?
Negative.
Oh, it's one Dale Jackson. What's going on, Dale Jackson?
No, not too much. Just getting up extra early to come and hang out with you guys. Super excited about it.
I can tell the excitement is genuine, and in your voice it's loud and proud, and I love it. It's like board operated roulette. I'm just going to spin the wheel, pull the trigger, and see who's over there.
I hope that someone's here every single day.
Yeah, well, because now I'm not going to know, right? Like before, I was in the studio too, and if somebody didn't show up, I could just like hop over there and like our infamous no board operator testing 1 2 testing. Connor's over here like, hey, welcome to Hometown Heartbeat. Zach doesn't have any idea what he's doing on the board, and everyone in the radio land's just listening to me sound like an idiot. So we always had that option, but now it not so much. So what's going on in your world, Connor?
I mean, not much. I was actually.
That's really all you're going to give me today?
I was on
That's
time.
all you're going to give me today?
I was on time.
Oh,
to
here
the
we
studio.
go. Here we go.
First time, I think since we started doing the show, I arrived before you, and it was like 4:50. I call you.
It's a bit of a role reversal.
I'm in a panic because I'm like, oh God, what are we gonna do because Dallas isn't here? Normally I could just tell Dallas do a repeat, but Dallas isn't there. So
Well, now you know Dale or Antonio's going to be
knowing
there.
that Dale was there, Dale could have opened the show.
Dale could have done a repeat, or Dale could have just, this could have just been. Dale, was there a period where you did like the second hour of this show leading into your show?
There's been so many different time slots.
I meant like recently. Like in between the Will Anderson days and the Hometown Heartbeat days.
Oh, there were plenty of times in the Will Anderson days when I had to pick up the slack around 6 o'clock. Like I said, I've done 6 to 9, 5 to 9, 6 to 10, 5 to 9, then 11 to 2 on another station. I mean, it's been interesting.
What's your favorite shift?
I like where I'm at now. 7 to 11 is pretty sweet. Your day is over relatively soon, and you're not up at 4 in the morning.
Yeah. I feel that. Especially this morning. I played softball last night. A bad idea. Got a doubleheader tonight. Probably not going to make it. But we are called the hometown team. We're the Hometown Heartbeat hometown team here in Athens Rec League, so that's kind of cute. And we got our tails whooped last night, which is cool. That usually doesn't happen to us, but it's pretty fun. We got whooped. So there's that. But yes, it was indeed, Connor, you're correct. It was a change of pace. Connor calling me saying, hey, are you up? Are you up? Hey, are you coming? I'm like, yeah, man. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make it. So there's that. A lot to talk about. Had a little Monday Night Football action last night. We've got Hurricane Sally bearing down. Slow down, Sally. We've got her bearing down as a Category 1. Thank God, just a Category 1, but we've got her bearing down as a Category 1. We've got a Los Angeles sheriff challenging LeBron to match the reward money, which I think would be the first maybe just use of his platform. We'll see how that. We'll see if he steps up to the plate there. Spoiler alert: he probably won't. If I'm just guessing, I don't pretend to know the man or his intentions, but his past record tells me he's probably not. And in other news, I'm eating ice cream for breakfast. So I walked in. Connor, walk me through that little dandy when I walked in. You said what?
So what's in that bowl? And you said ice cream.
As if the pile of green, orange, and red creamy substance didn't. What were the other options? Oatmeal?
I don't know. It's you had just talked about going on like an alternative health.
Oh yeah,
journey.
so we start. We have a new advertising partner joining us, Alternative Medicine of Madison, and so I will be going in this morning for my first treatment, and we're going to be documenting this whole thing, and I'll be going on this health journey with them and bringing that to you, and they're joining us and partnering with us and advertising to you. We have some great new partners we need to tell you about, but they will be joining us, and yeah, so I'm starting my health journey today, but it didn't start yet.
So you're gonna eat ice cream for breakfast on this?
Maybe
last
it's my
day?
last celebration. Well, you don't know. Maybe it's that hipster sherbet that doesn't have any bad stuff in it. It's like all organic and tastes like frozen cardboard. You don't know.
Is it?
No, absolutely not. I'm not a hipster, but it could be.
Okay.
Don't assume, Connor. You know what that does?
I know all too well.
Okay. Well, you don't want to say it.
Not on the air. Not
Oh,
on good old WVNN.
Okay. I was just checking. I mean, I just wanted to see. I just want to check. Coronavirus pandemic. Got a lot of the same old there. We want to hear from you. Yesterday we didn't take many calls except from that one idiot, and so we want to hear from you. Don't be an idiot, but we want to hear from you today. We want to hear about. If you listened to yesterday's show, you got questions about our trip to Louisiana and what that looked like, and what the disaster relief trip looked like. Maybe you have a call that says, "What can you do to help?" We would love to talk to you about that as well. We would love to talk to you about pretty much anything. I mean, I was out of the news cycle for an entire weekend. I didn't have time, definitely didn't have energy to research it and just kind of keep up. And sleeping at a church that was run on a generator was obviously not. We didn't have Wi-Fi. We didn't have any of that. So we were a little bit out of touch there. So you might have to bring. You might have to bring some content to the table today, listeners, and help us out today. Sally not here, Sally, good Lord, looking at Hurricane Sally. Sandy Lou, who is not here. She is actually headed on vacation and is just going to take that vacation. She's going to the beach. And so she's gonna join us from the beach at some point in the next few days and bring back some great content from the beach. I could not deny her that trip after I've taken 2 this summer, and so that is where we are with that. There's just a lot to get caught up on. I feel like we came back from the weekend, and yesterday was just hard charging through just that weekend. There's so much. Apparently, Trump is denying, quote, realities of climate change. Denying the, quote, realities of science. Again, it's like the coronavirus. There's no science to really back it up. They just kind of, say what they want. Here's the thing about climate change. I'm not saying climate change isn't happening. Climate change is certainly happening. It's called weather. The part that I disagree with wholeheartedly is the man-made portion. Cow farts aren't out there ruining. Connor, you're a science person. Where do you land? We've never talked about climate change. This could be interesting.
No, that's for good reason.
Why is that?
I just don't want to talk
Where
about
are you at on it? Man-made or not? Let me just sum it up.
I don't know, and I don't want to comment.
What? Huh? Oh. Now you've challenged me. Today's show will be entirely about climate change. Connor will be joining us at some point. He can't sit there forever and cut his eyes at me. At some point he'll break like a little nut. And he'll just, we'll work it. We'll work it until we get there. Online too, we got Sparky calling in about the old health journey here. Be nice to me, Sparky. What's going on, buddy?
I was just going to say congratulations and I wish you well with your health and wellness journey. It is truly a journey. It's never a destination. Anybody who thinks you're going to get there and look around and go, well, I'm exactly where I want to be. Because it takes work, and the older you get, the tougher it is. So good on you. Hey, climate change, I got a comment on that, if I may.
Absolutely.
The far left, the globalists, they've showed their hand. They know that everything they preach about climate change is a complete and utter fraud. I'm a man of science. The science isn't there, though they want to screech and howl and scream in your face that it is. As you said, the weather changes, climate gradually evolves over the centuries, as we've learned from history. But climate change is all about power. It's all about centralized government. It's all about redistribution of wealth. And I think we've got bigger things to worry about. And right now, that would be helping our president get reelected, so that there's not a Kamala Harris administration with an elderly figurehead.
With a side of Joe Biden. Yeah, I hear you completely on that. Thank you for the call. And in regards to the health journey, yeah, this is something that has never been difficult for me in the past, and so it's kind of frustrating that it now is because, like we've talked about on the show at length, I mean, I went to working out and eating right, and I was doing everything I was supposed to do, and things that years ago I would have done, or even a year ago, 6 months ago even, I would have lost 15 pounds in a month, and for 40 days we lost no weight and we had no change. I mean, obviously I felt better because moving around and exercising makes you feel better, but the testosterone numbers coming back the way they did, and now, you know, maybe we'll give an update on that today, because that I know that's something that I get a lot of emails and calls about in regards to, you know, man, I'm dealing with that. I'm so glad you were willing to talk about that on the radio, and so maybe we'll talk a little bit more about that today, because you know, that's really getting frustrating, because it's like it's like a seesaw. Back and forth, and so you know, it's kind of hard to get that thing normalized. But you listen, let's go to a break. When we come back, we'll dive into some of this stuff. We'll get some more callers queued up. We will hear from you guys today. This show's all about you, baby. You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. I'm your big, bold, beautiful, bearded host. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
You go as hard as you can. And then a little harder.
And it was like I stepped funny, you know? Mm-hmm. And I could barely walk on.
Okay, let's take a look.
At Lang Chiropractic, we'll help your sports performance and your overall health by improving your range of motion, flexibility, relieving inflammation, and so much more. Focusing to improve your health and wellness in all areas of your life. Whether you're having trouble with back pain, neck pain, or just want to start feeling better when you wake up in the morning, Dr. David Lang is focused on a whole person approach, finding those underlying causes and creating a personalized plan for your individual needs. Schedule your visit by calling 256-444-1600. That's 444-1600 at Lang Chiropractic on Highway 72 East in Athens in the Publix Shopping Center. Visit us online at langchiropracticcenter.com. Lang Chiropractic, we've got your back. Come see us today.
Though the world is full of wonders to amaze you as you roam, some of life's greatest treasures are found very close to home.
Find your own treasures at Highway 31 Flea Market. We have it all. Lots of furniture, both painted and project pieces, along with chairs, tables, televisions, books, and so much more. Our prices are unbeatable with products you'll love. Maybe you're looking for a bed frame, or maybe some tools. You'll find a great selection right here at Highway 31 Flea Market. We also have all kinds of collectibles and antiques. Want even more deals? You can jump on board with our week-long online auctions, beginning every Tuesday at 7 p.m. It's simple. You can join the auction at fleamarket.highbid.com. That's fleamarket.hibid.com. And be sure to visit us Monday through Saturday from 9 till 5 at Highway 31 Flea Market on Highway 31 South in Athens. What will you find when you shop Highway 31 Flea Market?
What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host here on Hometown Heartbeat. I wanted to talk about my friends over at Cotton Row Productions. If you're a church, creative, or pastor, and throughout this coronavirus, you have decided it's time to invest in your live stream capabilities, look at what we're doing here. The Dale Jackson Show and Hometown Heartbeat are proudly produced by Cotton Row Productions, and they are the best in live media production and creative for your church. They work with any budget, any amount of equipment. Look, it's a frustrating process, I know, and they are the best in the business at getting you and your message live streamed. And when we're talking about the gospel, what more important message? So reach out to my friends at Conroe Productions at 256-289-7355. Again, that's 256-289-7355. And when you call, make sure you ask for producer Connor from Hometown Heartbeat and the Dale Jackson Show. They'll take great care of you. What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, boisterous, bearded host from Hometown Heartbeat, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. on WVNN. Let me tell you something. We are so excited to be joining you guys on the radio, on the live stream, on the podcast, on the website, on the interweb, on the Facebox, on the Tweetergram. We are fired up. And you should be too, because it's one of the only places you can get real truth in the media. So make sure that you go to thehometownheartbeat.com, thehometownheartbeat.com, and at the top, click Listen Live, Watch Live, or Podcast. Every day the archive comes out, no commercials. You can get smarter and not have to listen to ads. Make sure you join us every day, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. on WVNN. That's thehometownheartbeat.com. Stay classy, San Diego.
Where Alabama talks. WVNN. Depend on it.
Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host. Checking in this morning with producer Connor. Dale Jackson on the ones and twos over there, spinning the hits and taking us back to the best night of our life in September. By the elements there, I'm a big Earth, Wind, and Fire fan. If you listen to the show, you can probably imagine that because you hear the elements quite often. And oftentimes they stick around for a while. They just linger. They just stay there for a bit. And no, but I love Earth, Wind, and Fire. And that's back when music was music. You know what I'm talking about, Connor? You know what I'm talking about? Like, wrong button. When like today's music, and are you a big music aficionado?
Not really. I mean, I like music like anybody else.
What kind of music do you like?
Soul, classic.
Oh, okay. Give me a soul, like an artist that you would put in the soul, like a song or artist, or just give me an example in that soul category.
I think
you're talking
Sam
about.
Cooke is probably my favorite.
Okay. I'm impressed. And you say classic meaning?
I meant to say soft 70s Southern soft rock.
Southern soft rock. Dale Jackson. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, he's alone on that one here.
Southern soft rock? Does it surprise you at all that Connor's genre is Southern soft rock?
Very much. He strikes me more as a Bieber fan.
As a what?
A Bieber fan.
I don't even know who that is.
Justin Bieber?
Oh, Bieber. I'm sorry. I thought you said Beaver. I was like, is there a new group called Beaver that I don't know about?
I thought he was saying beeper, like pager.
No, it was old Bieber. Oh, Justin Bieber. Love yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. But but the music today is terrible. Dale, what do you listen to? Are you like a hard rock guy?
A lake.
With a nice cold beverage and a pontoon boat. You're all in on that kind of music. Okay, I can dig that. So I happen to love music of all genres. I mean, I play music. I've been a musician. I guess you could say that pretty much all my life, and I love music and music like Earth, Wind, and Fire. I was born in the wrong generation, probably. That's probably why I connect with people that are significantly older than me in terms of like where I fit in comfortably is not really with 33-year-olds because I don't know something about just that older demographic, that older generation. That's first of all, it's the greatest generation mankind's ever seen. But second of all, the music is just different. Like if you can make the music on a computer, is it really music? Like I don't. It's art, but is it really music? Like if you don't have to play any instruments, if you don't have to have any. I mean, I'm not saying there's no incredible skill in what they do. Like today's music, a lot of it, all electronic. Got no problem with it. Again, incredible skill, but is it really music? Like, is it music without an instrument? If it's made with a keyboard, is it music, Connor?
Well, would you say that music made with a digital keyboard that uses synthesizers is the same as music made with a piano? I'd say that there's no difference.
But that's apples and oranges because
well,
I can't walk up to a keyboard and a synthesizer and play a song. Because I don't have the skill of playing that instrument, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Less about – I'm not trying to down –
Well, the computer is nothing but just a really fancy instrument in that sense.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I don't disagree with you necessarily. And it really more just I'm not trying to kill the or talk down about the computer based music generation thing. It's just one of those things where for me, like, you got to have a woodwind section, man. You got to have like I don't know. That's what I love about Earth, Wind and Fire is you hear every little bit of everything. You got some brass. You got the guys playing the guitar. I don't know. It's just a more skilled. So I don't know. Somebody call and reaffirm what I'm trying to say. Maybe I'm not saying it. I know a bunch of you guys are out there listening right now saying, yeah, what he said, because I'm probably talking about your generation of music. But 1-866-494-9866, 866-494-WVNN. Give us a call. Am I wrong or right, or is Connor wrong or right, or tell Connor to talk about climate change? One of the two. I'm kidding. We're going to leave Connor alone when it comes to climate change. But music today is just different. It's just different, Connor. It's not. I mean, if you don't have to have, because I can grab a computer, open GarageBand, pull up a random instrument on there, and the H equals like if I hit the space bar on my computer, it's going to make a sound. Is that music?
Sure.
Yeah, you're probably right. It probably technically is. I just don't like it as much.
And that's fine. That's everybody can have preferences. That's one of the great things.
You're a little confrontational this morning. What got in your Wheaties?
That's a positive, optimistic.
Someone pee in your Cheerios this morning?
No, all I'm saying is it's just good. People have options now. It's a new sound, different type of music, so I'm all for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I am too, I guess. I'm not really. I'm lying. I'm not at all okay with it. I lied. I don't like it. I like music that has actual instruments in it, not a computer based. I don't know. You're right though. I mean, these Korg keyboards and all this other stuff these guys are playing, or some of the, like, they've got crazy I mean, it's unbelievable. You have to have a minor degree in them to to operate them the correct way. It feels like I don't know anything. I don't know how to do any of it, but it is definitely interesting. So let's dive back into what we were talking about. We're talking about a little bit about the health journey and all this other stuff. There are some incredible headlines out there. I can't wait to dive into. My favorite person is back in the news. That'd be one Anthony Tony Weiner. He's now the quote CEO of a new company. This ought to be interesting. We'll definitely get to that today. That's one of my favorite people there in the news today. Would be one Anthony Tony Weiner, and right up the Dale Jackson's alley. We'll have to talk about this a little later. Phoenix denies Black Lives Matter street mural after request for pro-police mural hits the old press there. So we'll definitely dive into that. But I do want to get to this testosterone thing and this health thing and all the stuff we've been talking about this morning. So I am, as I've mentioned, I didn't have any testosterone, I guess, a few months back, and Gwen got tested for that. And doc said, you don't have low T, you have no T, kind of a deal, which was weird. At 33, I don't, it makes me feel a little bit funny, and I don't necessarily love it. And trying to figure out how to get calibrated that's how somebody, I think my brother-in-law used that word, you get calibrated. And that's exactly what it feels like. I feel uncalibrated. I feel kind of, I don't know, everything's a little bit foggy at times, and I have less energy than I should, and I don't know, I get it. My health and my diet and exercise and all this stuff contributes a ton, but your body also has to be working correctly for most of this stuff to work, and so we started testosterone replacement therapy not long ago, and then I had my blood drawn again last Wednesday or the Wednesday before, and now my testosterone's far too high. And so it's like this is teeter-totter back and forth, and so it's real frustrating because I don't know, how do you dial it in? How do you dial it in and get it? So working closely with the doctor, and something that we're definitely going to be looking for is if you are or you go to a testosterone or hormone replacement doctor that you really like, shoot us an email or give us a call. It'd be SHOW at thehometownheartbeat.com, and let us know who that is. We'd love to talk to them because it's definitely something that's going to be a big part of my life moving forward, which means it'll be a big part of the show. So we would love to know who you enjoy, who you use, who you trust. That's everything to us, obviously, as it should be with your doctors every single time. So that's kind of where I've landed on all that. Monday Night Football looked like it was pretty rusty, Connor. Looked like it was rusty. I know you're a big football aficionado.
Oh yeah, totally.
I know that you know everything about football, and you've lived for this moment, for football to return.
Yes.
You've not watched a single snap of football all year, have you?
Not.
When was the last time you watched a snap of football?
I
Alabama games?
actually sat down to watch it.
Yes. Please say never.
No, it was
Okay.
probably last football season, college football season.
So it's college football.
Yeah.
So you'll sit down and watch an Alabama game or an Auburn game or whatever. Wait.
Roll Tide.
Okay. You have Mississippi State shirt on, so it just kind of throws me off.
Oh no, I went to the college. Didn't like it, but they gave me a nice shirt.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, it's a good school, if you like cowbells and tinnitus and hearing, hearing aids when you're older. I can't imagine. I mean, that's one of the most deafening. I don't get it. Go State cowbells, I guess. Whatever. It's weird. It's weird. What you do is weird. You listen to Hometown Heartbeat. I'm Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host. Make sure you check us out at www.thehometownheartbeat.com. Thehometownheartbeat.com. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat, the godfather of talk radio, America's Anchorman, or El Rushbo. Whatever you call him, he can only be
What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host here on Hometown Heartbeat. I wanted to talk about my friends over at Cotton Row Productions. If you're a church creative or pastor, and throughout this coronavirus, you have decided it's time to invest in your live stream capabilities, look at what we're doing here. The Dale Jackson Show and Hometown Heartbeat are proudly produced by Cotton Row Productions, and they are the best in live media production and creative for your church. They work with any budget, any amount of equipment. Look, it's a frustrating process, I know. And they are the best in the business at getting you and your message live streamed. And when we're talking about the gospel, what more important message? So reach out to my friends at Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355. Again, that's 256-289-7355. And when you call, make sure you ask for producer Connor from Hometown Heartbeat and the Dale Jackson Show. They'll take great care of you.
Oftentimes, people say
It's
their
your
fine
news
dining
now.
experience for
WVNN. Depend on it.
And welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. I am Zach Walker, the big, beautiful, bearded host of your favorite, the smartest, and best show on the radio, Hometown Heartbeat. Checking in this morning, rolling solo. Here, me and producer Connor, of course, joining us over at home base would be one Dale Jackson. Good morning, Dale. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. Just thrilled to be here.
I'm just gonna check in periodically on the excitement level and just see where this is, where this is at on the old excitement scale. So I just just checking in. So no, I'd love to talk about this though, because you got involved in something like this not long ago. We talked about it on this show. I say we. I'm going to take a small piece of we and say, put out the GoFundMe to kind of prove a point with governments allowing private or activist organizations to stupidly take to the streets to paint whatever they feel like they need to paint at whatever time. And so you started your own little thing there, and now it's here on the Blaze. Phoenix denies Black Lives Matter street mural after they received a request for a massive pro-police mural and denied them both. Have you seen this headline?
I did not see that headline, but it's pretty predictable that people would do this across the country because
of Dale Jackson.
Complete sense.
Well, yeah, and you set you showed everybody the blueprint, if you will. But she was Gisette Knight. Why do these people always have such crazy names, Connor? Why I don't understand. It's like when I'm talking about these stories, I can never pronounce the names. Also, for whoever just tried to call into the show, somehow they called my cell phone. Be sure to call 1-866-494-9866 or 866-494-WVNN if you want to call. Again, someone when you get a phone call at 5:33 in the morning, it's probably
I
not.
think we still have 678 on radio routed to your phone.
Oh yeah, so maybe that's what happened. Here, I'll just hand you my phone then, and you can call that number back if you'd like and see who that was. That's interesting. I forgot about that. It's a Decatur number, so I'll mute your mic. You can give him a call. But Gisette Knight, the organizer behind the Black Lives Matter street mural, was addressing the media, and she was pissed, and she was very, very upset because what she said, quote, "What's important to note is that throughout my correspondence with either the mayor's office or her administration, no one expressed to me verbally, she says electrically, by the way, instead of electronically. So I guess that's funny. Electrically or in writing that non-standard markings on city streets are not allowed or are present safety concerns. The mural design would include the visages of civil rights leaders Dr. Martin Luther King, Cesar Chavez, okay, John Lewis, and I collected 2,500 signatures in support of her mural." How much money did you raise, Dale?
I think we were closing in on about $2,000.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. But it's funny that they were going to allow this to happen, and then Mark Spencer of Judicial Watch came out and said, oh, by the way, the former president of the Phoenix Law Enforcement Association, he put in his request that was going to have a mural that said, "No one is above the law." Good for you. Good for you, Mark Spencer. Obviously, they were going to do one and then didn't do the other when the other one jumped in. And so this is, here's the best quote of the day. "Every time black people go to do something, we face adversity." Is that where we're at? Like, is that level of intellectual dishonesty? Like, it feels like comments like that are so commonplace now. Like, every time I wake up, I'm not asleep. Like, just stupid comments. Like, we all face adversity. Like, what do you want? I don't understand what these people want. And that's anybody. It's not a color thing. So what do you want? Like, what do you want? You want everybody to just give you exactly what it is, what you want, when you want it, how you want it, with no questions asked, no pushback, no nothing. Like, I'm just so confused on how this is supposed to work, I guess. I guess I'm just not woke enough. Speaking of woke, we got our new woke shirts in. We will be at some point giving one of those away today. But here we got a call here on our phone. We got Richard calling in here. Richard, what's going on, buddy? Bring it in here.
Hello.
Yeah, Richard, what's up, buddy?
Oh, hey, how's it going, Vet?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. I heard y'all talking about the hormone replacement.
Uh-huh.
And I've been getting it for about 5 years now, and you can tell a world of difference when you get it, and when you're. My doctor likes to wait about 5 months in between the pellets, and you can tell a couple of weeks beforehand when you're starting to get low on your testosterone again.
Yeah, that's interesting because I have not, and I would love for you to send us a message or an email with your doctor's name and all of that so that we could, because I'm looking for, I mean, my physician he's a family medicine guy, and he's the best doctor I've ever had. That'd be Dr. Timothy Wyrick in Decatur. He's hands down the best doctor I've ever had in my life, but he's not a hormone guy, and this is not his main thing. And so we've been talking about finding a doctor that is specifically suited to that. So if you want to send us a message, Richard, I would love for you to do so, or you can email me at show, SHOW, at thehometownheartbeat.com, or just go to thehometownheartbeat.com, click contact us at the top. But I appreciate the call. The pellets he's talking about are really interesting. Right now I'm taking the shot, so I'm doing the injection, which it's not bad. It's a shot once a week or once every other week or whatever you're supposed to be doing. And after a period of time, they'll actually take you. You have to go to a certain urologist, I guess, and then they will actually implant under your skin this like subdermal pellet thing where it administers these pellets of testosterone to you at a predetermined, like as your body kind of needs it kind of a thing. And so I've heard really, really good things about that, but it is a bit of a process to get the pellets and get that going correctly. And so I think that's where I'm headed. I'm trying to work my way to some pellets because those just seem a lot more easy than having to stick yourself with a big old needle once a week, every week for the rest of my life. I don't particularly look forward to that as much as maybe I do just the pellets. But I appreciate the call. And it's funny. Again, it goes back to kind of, we've talked about it 1,000 times, and then this guy calls in yesterday and won't y'all get over and talk about roll Tide, roll Trump. But what we talk about on the show is it's so funny how it kind of evolves and how we've evolved as a show. I was kind of thinking about that this weekend as I spent a lot of time in a place like that in Louisiana, and you don't have all the – look, even when you had cell phone service, sometimes you didn't really have cell phone service because there'd be towers up, but bandwidth was being eaten by – everybody – no one has Wi-Fi. Everybody's on their phones only. And so getting through all that. But you spend a lot of time kind of reflecting, and I had a Hometown Heartbeat show or shirt on sometimes, and people would ask, what do you do? And so it gave me a lot of time to kind of talk about it with complete strangers and kind of just reflect on – it's just so I don't know. I find myself, yesterday's show was so cool in like the sense of showing the real reason we're here in a way. Like it's got nothing. Are we funny? I don't know. I hope so. I hope people laugh when they listen to the show. Are we informative? I don't know. Entertaining, definitely. I hope. More so entertaining than informative, probably. There are smarter people on the radio than me that you can go get that from. But it's just funny how we started in a certain place, and then the one thing that made us aware that people wanted to hear less politics was testosterone. Like, that was the first story because it was so funny. My wife and I both like to pass out while she was shoving a needle. It was just a funny story, and then turns out everybody – there's a ton of men going through it, and there's a ton of women dealing with it. And because let me tell you, it's not just a man or the wife she deals with this stuff too, because testosterone changing in large variations will create tempers, and there's other things that kind of come with that until you get everything calibrated or regulated, like I said. But it's just funny how we don't know what we're doing here. Like we literally went from let's podcast out of our little goober studio here 1 hour a day to, hey, you're on the radio every single day, morning drive time. You can figure that out, right? It's like, sure. I hope, but it's just funny to kind of sit back and look at it. I'm so thankful for it. Certainly, yesterday was cool. Just having Dustin Haraway in and his desire to want to share his struggles, and it goes back to that, and I always refer to that moment, that testosterone moment, in a funny way. But that was the moment that people, the phones lit up, right? We start talking about low T, and it's like bring, 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 and phones are just absolutely lighting up, and we start asking and taking polls, and everybody's like, man, yeah, just talk about life and, news of the day, certainly politics a little bit as we address news of the day. But, Dale Jackson is quick to warn me not to say, I hate politics, because it's not, for the love of God, I'm on News Talk 770 925 WVNN. Like, that's what we do well. And I don't. Like, I do enjoy, like, I know that there's a reality. Like, the reality is we have an obligation to be involved. When you have a platform like this, like, you have an obligation to be involved in some capacity in informing people, not swaying. My goal is not to sway people. I mean, if you can call me and give me one logical, good, fact-supported reason that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris would be great for the country, I'd give you $100. But it's not to sway people. It's just to inform people, show them the facts and the truth, or at least from our perspective, what that looks like. Because we know that there's a ton of different perspective out there, and there's a ton of different. But at the end of the day, we enjoy this and what we do, and I just find myself very thankful that we're on the radio. I listen to Rick and Bubba a ton, and every year they come back from their holiday break, and I guess this year will be like 27 years on the radio. and I start kind of doing math, and I think they started a little earlier than I did, but 27 years. You know, if we're so lucky, if we're so fortunate as to be on the radio for a long time, which I greatly enjoy what we do. So I hope that this can be something that we do for a long time. But you know, it's 27 years puts me, what, 60? 33 and 27, 60. Yeah, math's good. So that's not that crazy. You know, that sounds like a great age to retire. Well, and let's be honest, if you're doing morning drive time radio, that's basically retirement anyways. I mean, you don't have to work that hard. Just ask Dale Jackson. No, I'm kidding. Dale is, from what I know about the radio, Dale's a professional, and this is something that he is super passionate about and obviously quite good at when it comes to the politics and the talk radio. He's taught us a ton. We definitely wouldn't be where we're at without one Dale Jackson kind of guiding us through this path. But it's been a lot of fun, and I don't know. I find myself kind of in my feelings this morning a little bit because it just it's just, I don't know. There are things in life you don't expect. And you're certainly, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh my gosh, I didn't expect it. Like when it happens, like it's because we've worked our butts off and we've created value and there's good content in the show or there's anything in life, by the way. Like luck doesn't exist. Just one man's opinion, but every single thing that happens is created by opportunity. It's created by preparation. It's created by, blind luck, I guess it exists in some capacity, but the reality is if you work your butt off and you prepare and you create something of value and you do all those things, then when the time comes, like we didn't shy away from this thing. I think we can. Now the first week or so of the conversations were like, no, I'm sorry, what did you, I swear to God, I thought you said 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. 5 days a week. Like I thought you said 10 hours a week. Like we were talking about Saturday for an hour. But then after you kind of settle in, it's like, you know what, we can do this. So I don't know. I find myself very thankful this morning. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll dive into some of these headlines of the day. We'll let's talk about LeBron James. Oh, LeBron James. Let's talk about what he needs to do if he's going to mean what he says and say what he means. Of course he won't. But we're gonna talk about that. You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. Make sure to check out thehometownheartbeat.com. Thehometownheartbeat.com. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
You go as hard as you can. And then a little harder.
And then it was like I stepped funny, and I could barely walk on.
Okay, let's take a look.
At Lang Chiropractic, we'll help your sports performance and your overall health by improving your range of motion, flexibility, relieving inflammation, and so much more. Focusing to improve your health and wellness in all areas of your life. Whether you're having trouble with back pain, neck pain, or just want to start feeling better when you wake up in the morning, Dr. David Lang is focused on a whole person approach, finding those underlying causes and creating a personalized plan for your individual needs. Schedule your visit by calling 256-444-1600. That's 444-1600. At Lang Chiropractic on Highway 72 East in Athens in the Publix Shopping Center. Visit us online at langchiropracticcenter.com. Lang Chiropractic, we've got your back. Come see us today.
This is Mike 4 years ago. This is Mike having the same conversation with Debbie just last month. And today, he's at it again.
What's that, Mike?
I said our house is still underwater.
How do you know? Have you had it appraised lately?
Well, no.
Has the coronavirus made your life less financially stable? Are you worried about your next mortgage payment? Reed's Family REI is a family-based real estate investing company ready to buy your house for cash in any area or condition and close in 2 weeks. You don't have to fix it up. There's no agent fees, and we handle the closing costs. Selling a home can be very stressful, and Wyatt Reed and his team at Reed's Family REI will put together the best possible offer for your specific needs. Sell your home fast with Reed's Family REI. 931-292-2875. That's 931-292-2875. And online at reedsfamilyrei.org. Reed's Family REI. Creative real estate experts for all your buying or selling needs.
Karen's a quilter.
Karen's Quality Quilts. Quality custom quilts quickly.
How's the quilting business, Karen?
Kinda quiet. My quest to quadruple my quilting sales has created a quagmire.
Can I be candid, Karen?
Okay.
You need a website that can encompass the quality of your quilts.
I know quilts, but I know no computers. They're confusing.
But there are people who know coding like you know quilting.
Who's that?
I'm glad you asked. Web Underdog creates websites that don't just catch the eye, they catch customers. And they're as user-friendly for you as they are for your clients. We build high-quality, clean, well-coded, custom designs for organizations of all sizes that are affordable, professional, and specially made for your brand and visitors. Outside of responsive web design, Web Underdog also offers search engine optimization, website management, and so much more. Give your business the professional touch and contact Web Underdog for a free web design quote. Call 256-998-0667. That's 998-0667 and online at webunderdog.com. Web Underdog, your local web design and SEO agency.
In any home, cabinets are an instrumental part of your design. So, when you open your current cabinets, what instrument do they play? Wouldn't you rather they sounded like this? They can. It just takes one call to us.
Cabinet Express Online, North Alabama's premier cabinet supplier. Whether you want a complete custom kitchen or some of our RTA line, at Cabinet Express Online, you will get the most value out of your hard-earned money every time. Are you looking for framed or frameless? Either way, in no time at all, your dream kitchen can be a reality. And the only place you should trust to bring that dream to life is Cabinet Express Online. Schedule your free design consultation today with Cabinet Express Online. Call 256-289-7355. That's 289-7355. And online at CabinetExpressOnline.com. Design your custom kitchen today with Cabinet Express Online.
The talk station in Alabama, WVNN. Depend on it.
Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. I am Zach Walker, your big, bold, beautiful bearded host. Checking in here today with producer Connor and the man, the myth, the legend. He is a celebrity. He's a kingmaker. Dale Jackson on the board at the mothership, running things and making them sound pretty. So thank you for joining us this morning. Just checking in, Dale. How's the excitement level today? Are we still running?
12 right now.
Okay, out of 12. And now is that out of 100 or out of 10?
No, it's out of 10.
Okay.
It keeps going up. It's hard to believe, but I'm just more excited.
You know, I do find myself really struggling to believe that it is quite hard to believe. But you know what? You are the consummate professional. You've been waking up early since when? How long have you been in talk radio now?
Been doing mornings since 2006.
I graduated high school in 2005. That's a long time. That's a long time. Not that you're not old. You started early. What are you, 40? Maybe 37?
Yeah, 40. I started when I had a daily show when I was like 26, 25, 26, that range.
So I'll ask you a question. If you had come out at like 18, 19 years, because you wanted to do this pretty much early on, right? This isn't something that you just fell into. Like, this is what you wanted to do.
I wanted to do it since I was in college. But yeah, I'll be honest, I fell into it in college more so than anything else. So yeah, I didn't strike out to do this like when I was in high school or anything. I joined the Army and came back, and I was going to be a teacher, and I went to school for a little bit for that, and then I started writing for the newspaper, and they said, "You're terrible, go edit the opinion page," and then I said, "Oh, cool, I'd like to do this more often." Then I started working at a talk radio station, and the rest is really bad history.
You hit that opinion page, and you were home, weren't you?
Yeah.
That opinion page changes the ball game, and that's the beauty of what we do. But what was your MOS in the Army? I think I've asked you this question before, but
I think now it's called a 31 uniform, but at the time it was a 31 Foxtrot. It was a tactical network system switching operator maintainer. Lots of different things: tactical internet networks, tactical phone switching, things like that. I mostly worked on the network side.
Yeah, the tactical phone switching is something that. No, I'm kidding. I mean, it's funny. I have a pet peeve with the word tactical now. A bunch of idiots that don't have a clue what that word means, throwing that around. It's funny where it started, where it came from, what it means, and then how it's used today. I saw an advertisement the other day. This is no lie. You know what a 30-30 is, right? Like a Marlin lever action 30-30 rifle, like a cowboy John Wayne rifle. For those of you that don't know, it was a tactical tactical lever action 30-30, complete with rails and lights. And I'm like, what is that for? John Wayne Takes on Fallujah? Like I'm curious as to what the point. No, but that's good. So both Dale and I served. I was a medic in the Army. It was a 68 whiskey. It has not changed. It is the same, and it was the best decision I ever made. I don't know about you, Dale, but it saved my life. I was a freaking idiot, and I needed somebody to tell me that I was not important. I'll never forget. I was at Fort. But where'd you go to basic?
I was at Fort Jackson. South
So
Carolina, and now the same thing for me. It's just complete disaster of a human being at 18, and it's a good thing that I joined, or I'd probably be. I don't know where I'd be, but I would not be here. That's for sure.
No, and I had waited. Honestly, I'd been arrested, and literally, I got out of jail. This is no lie. It's the straight up truth. I got out of jail. I went straight to the recruiter's office on the way home. I was bailed out on my way home. I went by the recruiter's office and wanted to join, and he was like, "So, can you pee in a cup and we'll get this thing going?" And I was like, he was like, "Okay." When was the last time? I looked at my watch, and he was like, "Really? You gonna cut?" And so I was an absolute disaster. I was older. I was 22, I guess, and so for me, I was running from something, and when I got there, it absolutely radically transformed my life and just discipline. My father was he was a E67, with a first sergeant of a military police reserve unit forever. And so I just kind of grew up around it, but it was never something I wanted to do. And then for me, a lot of people signed up out of some great sense of patriotism. I was just running from the law, if we're being completely honest. But I'm thankful that I was, like you said, complete, turd of a person. I'll never forget that what they call it, I guess, the shark attack there at I was at Fort Benning for basic, and with being a medic, we're very much frontline, out of the wire combat MOS, and so we typically go to Benning with the infantry for basic, and so it was a different world. I'd been stuck in reception company, which for those of you that don't know, that's where you go and kind of hang out while you're waiting on your turn to go down and start training. And I had been stuck there for quite a while. I think I did Thanksgiving there, time of year wise. And when we got off that, we made that march down there to the training company, and that shark attack happened. When they call that, and you've probably seen it in a movie or whatever, where all the drill sergeants hit you for the first time, and they just come out of nowhere, and you're stacking bags and pulling bags down and putting them back together and putting them back down, and everything they tell you to do, there's a 0%. You do it right every single time, and every single time it's wrong, because that's just the whole point. And it took me probably 13 weeks of basic training. It probably took me 8 weeks to realize that they were talking to me the exact same way. They were saying those mean things that were hurting my feelings. Everybody has a point in basic training where you break mentally, emotionally, and that's the whole point of it, right? They break you down. They expose your weaknesses, they kind of expose your flaws, and then they rebuild you the Army's way, the way they need you. And I hit that point probably 8 weeks later than a lot of guys. A lot of guys had already figured it out by then, but I was just a big poon. And I don't know, when it hit me that literally that mean man that was yelling at me was saying exactly the same thing to me that he had the 3 privates before me that had come through there, I was like, oh, this isn't about me. It's a standard of training, and then it became fun. And I've told people forever I would go back to basic training once a year if I had the opportunity to do so, because I had more fun. I got in better shape. I came out of the Army at 208. I came out of basic training at 208 pounds, which is for my frame, for me, that is like emaciated. Like I was a freaking running machine with endurance and push up for days. Sit-ups were never a big thing for me. I was never going to be your PFT high flyer, but that's the APFT, Army Performance and Fitness Test, I think is what it's called. I forgot what the P is, but anyways, that not where we intended to go that segment, but certainly giving you background on us is I sometimes forget that we're still new, and there's new people joining us every single day that know absolutely nothing about us and hear us talk, and they're like, man, that doesn't make sense. So it's always good to circle back with some backstory as often as is reasonable and not over the top. Connor, have you ever thought about joining the armed services in any capacity?
Not really.
not an interest, not something that you would be.
Personally, no. Nothing but respect for people who
Sure.
choose to go that way. But personally, for me, I don't think that's the route I'll be taking.
No, and it's not for everybody. I mean, I always find myself wanting I think everybody at some point has some inkling of like, I wonder what that would be like, or I wonder. And man, there's some really cool programs for like everybody envisions the Army or the military armed services for very much. I don't know, your combat type. You're just run out there with a mohawk and a hatchet and Braveheart everybody. And the reality is, there's some of the best high level training for engineers and for. I mean, there's a ton of non-combat MOSs that create real opportunities for. I think it fits really well for people that don't necessarily have a plan and don't have a. It's a great way to go and get your college paid for and get all of those. You are a pretty well structured, pretty well planned young man, and that was until you met me. And so, I was just curious about that. You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host. When we return, we will finally talk about LeBron James like we were going to the last two segments. Check out thehometownheartbeat.com. We'll be right back.
WVNN Athens, WVNN FM Trinity, a Cumulus station. It's 6 o'clock. News starts now.
From ABC News, I'm Dave Packard. Searchers ongoing for those missing amid the deadly wildfires in the West. More than 70 fires burning in 10 states. At least 24 people have died. To California and ABC's Will Carr in the fire zone.
The relentless spot fires are only expected to get worse throughout the week, threatening hundreds of more homes. The record-breaking fires have delivered a tragic toll, at least 27 killed. The North Complex fire has seen 2,000 structures damaged or destroyed. The town of Berry Creek is a wasteland. The area is 5 miles wide and everything in sight is incinerated.
And Monday, when President Trump was asked by California's Secretary for Natural Resources, Wade Crawford, to follow the science on climate change.
It'll start getting cooler. You just watch.
I wish science agreed with you.
Well, I don't think science knows, actually.
Now to the Gulf, where Hurricane Sally is heading toward making landfall along the Mississippi-Alabama line.
The slow-moving hurricane quickly intensifying, expected to slam the northern Gulf Coast as a Category 2 storm. Mississippi, Louisiana, and Alabama all under a state of emergency. The concern here in New Orleans is flood and storm surge. The city not sure how much rain it will be able to take in such a short amount of time. Elwin Lopez, ABC News, New Orleans.
A top official at the Department of Health and Human Services, Michael Caputo, going on a rant amid reports that the CDC is being pressured by the Trump administration to modify their reporting to better match the president's message. ABC's Steve Osunsami at the CDC in Atlanta.
In his Facebook video, Caputo went off, saying that he believes the president is going to win the election, that Joe Biden will fail to concede, and that the president's supporters should carry their guns and buy up ammunition now, just in case.
The city in Nevada where President Trump hosted a crowded rally Sunday, now fining the venue that hosted the event for violating coronavirus rules. You're listening to ABC News.
Balance of Nature, changing the world one life at a time.
I just had a baby, and I'm tired, but I could tell you this, without Balance of Nature, there's no way I would have the energy I have right now. I've done so many different multivitamins and different things, and I have to definitely say Balance of Nature is the thing that's really, really helping me right now. I've been listening to these commercials and these testimonials, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But this is a product that I actually could say, holy cow, I see results.
Get a wide variety of all your daily recommended servings of whole fruits and vegetables without having to leave your home. Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or by going to balanceofnature.com. Again, that's balanceofnature.com. And make sure to receive this special radio offer by using discount code FRUITS.
This is Mike 4 years ago. This is Mike having the same conversation with Debbie just last month. And today, he's at it again.
What's that, Mike?
I said, but our house is still underwater.
How do you know? Have you had it appraised lately?
Oh, well, no.
Has the coronavirus made your life less financially stable? Are you worried about your next mortgage payment? Reed's Family REI is a family-based real estate investing company ready to buy your house for cash in any area or condition and close in 2 weeks. You don't have to fix it up. There's no agent fees, and we handle the closing costs. Selling a home can be very stressful, and Wyatt Reed and his team at Reed's Family REI will put together the best possible offer for your specific needs. Sell your home fast with Reed's Family REI. 931-292-2875. That's 931-292-2875. And online at reedsfamilyrei.org. Reed's Family REI. Creative real estate experts for all your buying or selling needs.
This is News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
Your forgiveness is like sweet, sweet honey on my lips.
Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host. Checking in with producer Connor and Dale Jackson on the ones and twos over at Home Control. Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. I am your big, beautiful, bearded host, checking in here with producer Connor. DJ Dallas has moved on down the road. He starts his new job. We're proud of him. Congratulations, buddy. Hope things work out well. Filling in, joining us this morning, the man, the myth, the legend, Dale Jackson on the ones and twos. Good morning, Dale. Running to 12 still? Just curious.
13.
Okay, we're on our way. The closer we get to your show, the higher that number gets. I mean, we all know you start your show on a 100. You are a high energy fella. What's funny is what was it you called me early on in our relationship? High strung, high energy, and I didn't understand why. I'm pretty laid back, pretty mild.
No, you're not.
No.
No.
Okay.
You're absolutely not.
Well, so, sometimes, self-awareness is tough, and, one man's mild is another man's high maintenance, or not high maintenance, high motor. That's what we call that. High motor. That's what the scouts say about him. He's got a high motor. That's what I like to think about myself as, high motor. We've got this sheriff story here about LeBron James. LeBron James, probably one of the greatest basketball athletes to ever play the game. I also think he's a blubbering idiot. He's a genius businessman. I mean, I've got nothing but respect for him. The brand that he's built and all that he's done financially to take his career and leverage it into where he's at right now is awesome. Like, I nothing but respect in that category. I respect the way he plays basketball. No, I mean, there are generations of basketball players that actually had to be a little bit tough that look at LeBron and say, how is this guy, getting the praise he gets? I mean, Michael Jordan with his bloody noses and broken never this and that. I mean, basketball was a different game back then, but hey, that's neither here nor there. The game they play right now, he is a superstar, which and arguably the loudest black voice in the public domain, arguably, is how I would say that. I don't think, Connor, am I overstating that? LeBron James, arguably the loudest black voice in pop culture or in however you want to phrase that. Arguably,
yeah. There might be one or two in music.
But you got music, you got Oprah. I mean, Oprah is obviously, but Oprah, LeBron James. I mean, there's a council, if you will, of black voices in this country that are at the highest, if the top 5 of them, right? I would say he's definitely in that. Yeah. If they're having the Black Coalition Council meeting, he's there. Like, he's invited to be he's probably the chairman of the board or the secretary, maybe the treasurer, who knows. But if he's a part of that club. That being said, he has been very outspoken in his criticism of law enforcement and also his lack of a plan to fix it. Like, and this is my frustration with anybody, not just LeBron, certainly LeBron, because I feel like he is missing the boat here, but anybody that comes out and complains, this has been happening to our people forever. This is the problem. Great. How do we fix it? We've all come to the table now, everybody, white people, black people, yellow people, green people, brown people, blue people, we've all come to the table and said, you are right. We need to have a conversation. Connor, have we said that on the show? We need a conversation. We want to listen.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm just making sure Connor's my who fact checks the fact checkers, right? Like Connor, if you can't tell, he will absolutely disagree with me if or call me out. Even sometimes when he's wrong, he's quite strong and opinionated, but he doesn't bring it to the table that way. He's a great accountability partner on the radio because he's smarter than I am, one, and two, he's unwilling to say things that I am very willing to say, so he can kind of just sit back and keep me lassoed or reined in a little bit, okay? And so everything I'm saying is 100% accurate and has been a consistent stance that we've had from day one. LeBron James, you are a billionaire. You have the largest platform, arguably, in the black pop culture community. You've built schools. You've gotten involved. Like, you had a problem with the education, so you went and built a charter school. Like, I respect that. But in this situation, all you're doing is blubbering and yammering on about a supposed problem with no real support to back it up. The Breonna Taylor conversation, I don't know if you guys have read that police report or actually walked through that story. I don't. It's very inconvenient for those of you that are on that side of the fence. I'd love to have the conversation, but again, after Jacob Blake killed in Kenosha, James tweeted, "Y'all wonder why we say that about police. Someone please tell me WTF is this? Another black man targeted." Do you guys know what Jacob Blake, who he was? We'll circle back to that. Let me finish this thought. But we definitely need to circle back to that because I read an article yesterday that would blow your mind. But our people want justice, he says. Great. He says, we are scared. We talked about this on this show. He said, we are scared. As black people, we're scared. LeBron James, you are not scared. That is intellectually dishonest. You are LeBron James. You're not scared of being targeted in this country. You're a superstar. You're a billionaire. You will not be shot in the streets. I can promise you. You don't think LeBron James is going to get more, he'll get more latitude with a cop than I will. So, again, intellectually dishonest. But yesterday, or the other day, we had two deputies sitting in their patrol car on Saturday night with an attempted assassination, basically. That's what I continue to call it because that's what it was. I don't know if you've watched the video, but the perpetrator walks up to the side of the truck and just starts firing into the patrol car. They're fighting for their lives. It is a straight-up assassination attempt. There's been a $100,000 and a $75,000. So the L.A. Sheriff's Office is offering a $100,000 reward, and private donors have added another $75,000. During an interview, the sheriff, Villanueva, declared, "This challenge is to LeBron James. I want you to match or double that reward." He said, "I know you care about law enforcement. You expressed a very interesting statement about your perspective on race relations and on officer-involved shootings and the impact that it's had on the African-American community, and I appreciate that, but likewise, we need to appreciate that respect for life goes across all professions." Let's see what he does, he said. So what are the odds that LeBron, I mean, why would he not do this? Like, what would be, I guess, what would be in this for him, and what would be if I'm pros and cons? If I'm LeBron James and I'm, my PR guy calls me, I was like, "Hey man, the sheriff called you out. He called you out. He said, hey, you need to match this. Like, what would be, I guess, my upside and my downside? I don't know. I guess if he doesn't now, he's kind of put it in a bit of a, he's kind of been put in a position. I love the move by the sheriff because he's kind of been put in a position to he's kind of been put in a position to, I'm sorry, Dale. Dale, your mic's on.
Actually, it's not, but I don't know. Did you hear me?
Yes, so it's in utility maybe because it's
hilarious.
So it's
I
on.
Dropped something, and that was wonderful. Good job, Dale.
Well, no, well you're on. So on the bright side, it's only on the live stream and not on the radio, I guess. So there's that upside. We were sitting here and I was here, ooh, and I looked at Connor and he was like, "What is that?" And it was right in the middle of. And it was a perfect way to come out of the LeBron James segment because it was just.
We're lucky it didn't go out over the air because that would be an FCC violation. What I said.
Would it really?
You didn't hear it, but yeah.
Okay, well, good thing you were pretty far away from the microphone. You were not like right on top of it for any.
I was actually across the room.
Oh wow.
I dropped something. I was like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, that's good. We're learning more about this remote setup every day. Learning more about it every day. But essentially, to conclude my thought here, basically, if you're LeBron James, like now you have a choice. Now you get to say that you're down with killing and hunting cops, or you're down with being able to just walk up and kill. So it's really the sanctity of the life of humans regardless, right? Is what so if he says nothing, does nothing, whatever, like I think it's going to be an indictment on LeBron James and who he is. Now, it won't surprise me, but I think it's going to change the way a lot of people view him because now he's been put on the spot, and his response is going to tell us a lot about LeBron James. Not that we need to know much more, I don't think, but that's just one man's opinion. Let's go to a break. When we come back, we got to talk about my friend, one Anthony Tony Weiner. He is the most what's the word? Frustratingly, disappointingly named people, but also appropriately named people in the world. Was once in Congress, and Mr. Weiner got in trouble for his wiener and is no longer in the public service sphere, but yet is now a CEO. I really want to dive into this guy. He's a real national treasure. You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. We'll be right back.
Listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
You go as hard as you can. And then a little harder.
And then it was like I stepped funny, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I could barely walk on.
Okay, let's take a look.
At Lang Chiropractic, we'll help your sports performance and your overall health by improving your range of motion, flexibility, relieving inflammation, and so much more. Focusing to improve your health and wellness in all areas of your life. Whether you're having trouble with back pain, neck pain, or just want to start feeling better when you wake up in the morning, Dr. David Lang is focused on a whole person approach, finding those underlying causes and creating a personalized plan for your individual needs. Schedule your visit by calling 256-444-1600. That's 444-1600 at Lang Chiropractic on Highway 72 East in Athens in the Publix Shopping Center. Visit us online at langchiropracticcenter.com. Lang Chiropractic, we've got your back. Come see us today.
Though the world is full of wonders to amaze you as you roam, some of life's greatest treasures are found very close to home.
Find your own treasures at Highway 31 Flea Market. We have it all. Lots of furniture, both painted and project pieces, along with chairs, tables, televisions, books, and so much more. Our prices are unbeatable with products you'll love. Maybe you're looking for a bed frame, or maybe some tools. You'll find a great selection right here at Highway 31 Flea Market. We also have all kinds of collectibles and antiques. Want even more deals? You can jump on board with our week-long online auctions, beginning every Tuesday at 7 p.m. It's simple. You can join the auction at fleamarket.highbid.com. That's fleamarket.hibid.com. And be sure to visit us Monday through Saturday from 9 till 5 at Highway 31 Flea Market on Highway 31 South in Athens. What will you find when you shop Highway 31 Flea Market?
What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host here on Hometown Heartbeat.
I wanted to talk about my friends over at Cotton Row Productions. If you're a church, creative, or pastor, and throughout this coronavirus, you have decided it's time to invest in your live stream capabilities, look at what we're doing here. The Dale Jackson Show and Hometown Heartbeat are proudly produced by Cotton Row Productions, and they are the best in live media production and creative for your church. They work with any budget, any amount of equipment. Look, it's a frustrating process, I know. And they are the best in the business at getting you and your message live streamed. And when we're talking about the gospel, what more important message? So reach out to my friends at Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355. Again, that's 256-289-7355. And when you call, make sure you ask for producer Connor from Hometown Heartbeat and the Dale Jackson Show. They'll take great care of you.
You go as hard as you can. And then a little harder.
And then it was like I stepped funny, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I could barely walk on.
Okay, let's take a look.
At Lang Chiropractic, we'll help your sports performance and your overall health by improving your range of motion, flexibility, relieving inflammation, and so much more. Focusing to improve your health and wellness in all areas of your life. Whether you're having trouble with back pain, neck pain, or just want to start feeling better when you wake up in the morning, Dr. David Lang is focused on a whole person approach, finding those underlying causes and creating a personalized plan for your individual needs. Schedule your visit by calling 256-444-1600. That's 444-1600 at Lang Chiropractic on Highway 72 East in Athens in the Publix Shopping Center. Visit us online at langchiropracticcenter.com. Lang Chiropractic, we've got your back. Come see us today.
What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, boisterous, bearded host from Hometown Heartbeat, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. on WVNN. Let me tell you something. We are so excited to be joining you guys on the radio, on the live stream, on the podcast, on the website, on the interweb, on the Facebox, on the Tweetergram. We are fired up, and you should be too, because it's one of the only places you can get real truth in the media. So make sure that you go to thehometownheartbeat.com, thehometownheartbeat.com, and at the top, click Listen Live, Watch Live, or Podcast. Every day the archive comes out, no commercials. You can get smarter and not have to listen to ads. Make sure you join us every day, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. on WVNN. That's thehometownheartbeat.com. Stay classy, San Diego.
Where Alabama talks. WVNN. Depend on it.
Welcome in to Hometown Heartbeat. I am Zach Walker, your big, bold, beautiful, bearded host of your favorite, the smartest show on radio, Hometown Heartbeat. I'm here with producer Connor, and the one, the only Dale Jackson joins us at the mothership, running the board over there, making things happen. And I'm assuming that he'll be Tony Mack will be in there soon, and Dale will be headed to this way. But for now, that's the situation we've got. I do want to tell you about Aardvark screen printing and T-shirts. We have, if you're watching the live stream, you'll see this. If you're not watching the live stream, well, you should be. Or you can go to you need to go to our Facebook, because we just got our first run of the woke shirts in. These are the, we stay woke on this show. Hometown Heartbeat is officially the wokest show on the radio. And it's a title that we take very seriously and honor that we embrace and enjoy. And so our new woke designs have just come in, and we will be giving away a shirt today on Facebook. So you have to go to Facebook. I will post a picture of the shirt. You need to share it. You need to tell your friends about it. Post it, share it, and just say, "I want one." That's all you got to do. Share it and say, "I want one," and we will pick a winner at some point this week. How about that? Does that sound good? You make up a contest on the fly. But I want to tell you that Aardvark Screen Printing and Tees is the official and only place for you to get any of your Hometown Heartbeat apparel, and they are doing 15% off for all listeners of this show. Order a dozen shirts, 15% off. The discount code is BEARD. That would be beard, like my beard, like I'm bearded. My big, beautiful beard is the discount code. And so you can get 15% off your shirts with Aardvark screen printing and tees. And I'll just be real honest with you. Weatherly and the folks over there are the best. They get stuff to me in a hurry. They get it to me right. It looks good. It's always highest quality, and they want to work for you as well. So we will give a shirt away today. Woke, the woke design from the wokest show on the radio. And in the meantime, make sure you give Aardvark Screen Printing and Tees a call, 256-732-4890. Tell them the Beard sent you because, let's be honest, it's the only way to go. Another exciting thing, we're going to have our first, I guess I would say, national sponsor or advertising partner joining us. I think I can announce. I think I can. My Pillow will be joining the show. We are excited to bring to you their line of pillows and sheets and other things like that. We're finalizing everything today. I was just responding to an email a moment ago, and so hopefully we will have that ready to roll maybe early next week. But we're super excited about that, and we are growing like crazy. If you are a business owner and you are interested in watching your business grow in the same way our show is, then you should give us a call, and we would love to put together an advertising plan that will work for you after the pandemic, after the closings and the shutdowns and the thises and the that's. It's time to really focus on your growth, and we can help you do that without question. So all that being said, Anthony Weiner. Connor, are you familiar with one Anthony Weiner?
I am. I know the basics of the 2011 scandal, yeah.
The basics of the 2011 scandal. He's a serial sexter. I wanted to say that all morning. I've been waiting for that. That's the one line that just really, it's just ready to say it. That's funny. I think it's hilarious. And I'm a big, old, 275-pound child. And so there it is. Former Democratic Rep Anthony Tony Weiner has reportedly found himself a new gig. He's the chief executive officer of a countertop company. Huh? The New York Post was the first to report on Monday that Weiner, a convicted sex offender and serial sexter, is, quote, trying to rebuild his shattered life by running a company that makes countertops out of broken glass. The outlet got its... I'm sorry, this is terrible reporting, but it's hilarious. The outlet got its hands on a promotional email announcing his last venture. One of the amazing things about Ice Stone countertops is that since people throw away all kinds of glass, there is almost an unlimited array of different colors we can use in our recycled glass creations, Weiner wrote. So that when I joined the company as CEO, I asked what I thought was an obvious question. Can we make countertops in the colors of my favorite New York teams? So while not everyone is a fan of Islanders, Mets, or Knicks, if you are interested in a little color, give Ice Stone a call. Okay. Here's another good line. Weiner appears to have found the perfect employer in Ice Stone, which says, quote, its commitment to second chances goes beyond our factories and products. That's so funny. There's so much gold in this. It says on its website, quote, we hire the homeless, refugees, and train the formerly incarcerated and ensure that everyone gets paid a living wage and has access to subsidized health insurance and a voice in the company. As of this writing, Ice Stone has not yet posted an announcement to its website announcing Weiner as an addition. He's also not listed on the website. What's going to happen here? I don't know. This is hilarious. Who cares? Now, the fact that in 2016 he was sexting and sending lewd pictures of himself to a 15-year-old girl, it's a bit of an issue. But the fact that he accidentally tweeted a picture of his crotch, now that goes down in history as... Is there any way that that's an accidental tweet? Like, I'm not a big tweeter guy. Now I'm on the Tweetergram at Bearded Host WVNN, but I don't use it a ton. So like, I don't know. I've never and I mean, not that I run around with pictures of my crotch on my phone, but like I don't know that I've ever posted the wrong picture, the one I wasn't intending to post, to social media. So how does that in theory happen?
There have been I don't know if you call them scandals, but incidents before where people think that if you tweet and you start your tweet by adding a person, it doesn't show up if you start it with an @whoever. It doesn't show up on people's feeds, but it's still publicly available. And I know some people have gotten in hot water there because they think that if you do it that way, then it's going directly to the person. It's a private message, which is not how it works. I know, I think like 10 years ago, Charlie Sheen was trying to send Justin Bieber his number, and he made it public, and he had to get his phone number changed because he got inundated.
Yeah, Charlie Sheen is...
he had other issues. But.
Yeah, he's a blubbering idiot. But no, yeah, I don't know how... I don't know how you could accidentally...
Well, Chris Evans, did you see all that stuff that happened over
Who's
the weekend?
Chris Evans?
The Captain America.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, he, I think on Instagram, he accidentally uploaded a picture of his crotch.
How does this happen, people? I've got an idea. Hey, you want to solve all this? I'll solve it for you. And I'm going to give you this for free, okay? I'm going to give you this for free. Stop keeping pictures of your crotch on your phone. Problem solved. Don't take pecker pictures. You'll be okay. All right? Keep the lens away from the lewdness. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the love of all that's good, do people not understand what Oh, my. Anyways, I'm sorry. Don't get me all off over here on... that would lead me to a whole nother rant on... I just discovered... I'm not even going to say the name of the site, but there's a site out there now that's allowing anyone who wants access to create their own, quote, adult content. And it's just this... The society we're living in today has just gone from bad to worse in terms of the moral emptiness of the whole thing. So, look, Mr. Wiener, good luck with your new glass countertop companies. Keep away from the dick pics, okay? You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. This is News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. News starts now.
Mandatory evacuations this morning in low-lying areas of the Mississippi shoreline as Hurricane Sally approaches. Rain and the storm surge expected to be the major threat from this slow-moving storm. This would be the third hurricane of the season to strike the Gulf Coast. ABC News senior meteorologist Rob Marciano in Biloxi, Mississippi.
This year, much like the year of Katrina, is off the charts for activity. There are now 5 named storms spinning at the same time in the Atlantic. That hasn't happened in 50 years as we bear the brunt of this peak of a very active hurricane season.
In the west, with deadly wildfires burning, smoke bringing haze as far as Chicago, rain on the way.
The first hope of something improving is probably late Wednesday and then maybe into Thursday or Friday. It looks like we might get a little bit more wind and maybe a little bit better chance of some rain moving in.
Dan Miller with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. At noon, a historic diplomatic deal to be signed between Israel and 2 Arab Gulf nations at the White House. Dave Packer, ABC News.
What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host here on Hometown Heartbeat. I wanted to talk about my friends over at Cotton Grove Productions. If you're a church, creative, or pastor, and throughout this coronavirus, you have decided it's time to invest in your live stream capabilities, look at what we're doing here. The Dale Jackson Show and Hometown Heartbeat are proudly produced by Cotton Grove Productions, and they are the best in live media production and creative for your church. They work with any budget, any amount of equipment. Look, it's a frustrating process, I know. And they are the best in the business at getting you and your message live streamed. And when we're talking about the gospel, what more important message? So reach out to my friends at Cotton Grove Productions at 256-289-7355. Again, that's 256-289-7355. And when you call, make sure you ask for producer Connor from Hometown Heartbeat and the Dale Jackson Show. They'll take great care of you.
Oftentimes, people save their fine dining experience for a special occasion. That's wonderful, but isn't all of life a celebration?
I survived Tuesday.
We finished the homework and nobody cried.
I was awake for the entire conference call.
Life is short. Why wait to celebrate?
Join us at the Rail Yard for an extraordinary meal. Just because we'll be reopening on August 13th, reclaiming the spot for downtown Decatur's hottest spot for delicious farm to fork Southern comfort food, craft beer, craft cocktails, and always great times. That recipe, combined with the amazing atmosphere of the local history of downtown Decatur, makes the Rail Yard the perfect place for an afternoon lunch or a relaxing evening out. The Rail Yard on 2nd Avenue in beautiful downtown Decatur. Make your reservations online at therailyarddecatur.com or call 256-580-5707. That's 580-5707. Craft beer, farm to fork, Southern comfort food, and always a good time.
Now, this is incredible. A Long Island, New York high school student has been arrested because he showed up to go to school. 17-year-old Maverick Stowe attended William Floyd High School for 5 days in a row, and by doing so, he committed a criminal act. Young Maverick was supposed to stay home for a designated remote learning day, but he said, I gotta go to class. Maverick Stowe was not putting anybody in danger when he showed up. His temperature was taken, he was fine. His first period teacher discovered he was supposed to be at home, so school administrators suspended him for 5 days. Maverick ignored the suspension. He showed up at school in person again, so they called the cops. He was arrested for trespassing, the school district pressing charges. School bosses accused Maverick Stowe of being selfish and irresponsible for showing up at school in person, the school his parents pay taxes for. Now, this is what it's like living in liberal America today. You can riot in the street, you can loot, burn, vandalize businesses, you can assault cops. Nothing happens to you. But if you dare attend school in person because you want to pursue your education, you get arrested as a criminal. This is Democrat Party America, Joe Biden America. God help us if these people win. Oh, my God, I can't think of it. Athletes nationwide talking about the relief they're getting from Level Select CBD sports creams and roll-ons from Cadenwood, the leader in CBD. Baseball legend Steve Garvey, with a National League record 1,207 consecutive games, uses Level Select CBD daily. He swears by it. Countless other athletes, including former quarterback Carson Palmer, PGA champion Ricky Fowler, find Level Select CBD helps keep them in the game. It works for them. It can work for you, too. Level Select CBD has a full line of products to choose from, all independently tested, made in the USA, with 0% THC. Go to LevelSelectCBD.com. Use the promo code CBD30 for 30% off any of their CBD products. That's LevelSelectCBD.com and the promo code CBD30.
Not available in Idaho, Iowa, and South Dakota.
The Dale Jackson Show, weekday mornings only on WVNN.
Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. I am Zach Walker, your big, bold, beautiful, bearded host here on your favorite, the smartest show on the radio. This morning I have producer Connor with me this morning over here. We are just we're doing our best and loving life. Listen, I've told you guys 100 times, and yesterday I told you I was going to see Dr. Lang after the show was over. I did. I went and saw Dr. Lang yesterday at 2 o'clock. And let me tell you something. First of all, I just want to I appreciate the conversation, the level of inquiry. I mean, it was health. How's your health overall? How's he knows that I'm dealing with some of this testosterone stuff, and it's something that he has some knowledge on. He just the level of friendship that has grown out of just becoming my chiropractor. You don't get that much anymore in today's customer service environment, doctor environment, and second of all, I mean, the man worked magic on my back and my neck, and just stretching out my lower back and getting me adjusted. And again, he doesn't attack the pain, but rather the root, and trying to find the root cause of the issue and fix that. So give Dr. Lang a call. Go see him if you've got some lower back issues, or if you've got anything really that you would want to see a chiropractor for. Dr. Lang has your back. They are on Highway 72 in the Public Shopping Center here in Athens. Give him a call at 256-444-1600. Tell him that the Beard sent you. And remember, Dr. Lang has your back. So that being said, Connor, we were just hearing a really interesting. I noticed that you kind of leaned your ear over there for that rush. He was talking about some young man getting suspended for. You know anything about that story?
No, I don't. I wasn't really paying attention. I just kind of it caught my attention. I wasn't listening. No.
Yeah, I looked it up. You should do the same. His name is Maverick Stowe, and the young man. Apparently, we're way behind. This was 5 days ago, 7 days ago. It's been a week probably. But on Long Island, a high school senior is protesting remote learning, was arrested on Thursday after trying to go to class. I'm sorry, what? Stowe was issued a criminal trespass notice when he did the same thing. So when he showed up at the school on Thursday morning, police arrested him and took him to the 7th Precinct. Stowe said he believes he should be in school 5 days a week, but officials with the school district say they don't have the space to allow every student in every day while following state guidelines. Now the district is threatening to close the high school to all students if Stowe keeps showing up. Well played, Stowe. I'm not mad at you for that. I would be your biggest fan, buddy. Connor, on the other hand, would probably hunt you down and try to get you because he enjoys school more than most people, which is a good thing. Honestly, I back in the day, you poke fun at that when you are not that way. Honestly, that's something that human nature, right? You make fun of or kind of passive aggressive towards things you don't understand or you don't get. And now that I'm a grown man, I look at the young man that Connor is, and I say, man, I sure would. I hope my son's more like Connor than he is like me. I'll put it that way, because I was an absolute hot mess throughout 27 years of my life. But learning is obviously important to this guy. It looks like. Now, Connor, I'm going to need you to kind of read through that one you've got over there and interpret it a little bit, because one thing, I mean, is it he really wants to go to school, or this guy is a class clown and he wants to, because both could be the option here. If it was me doing the protesting here, it would obviously be the class clown. If it was you doing the protesting, it would be because you truly wanted to learn 5 days a week. And so both options are on the table. But what's going on here?
It looks like to me that he actually wanted to be like in school. His signs for the protest said, quote, "At desks, not laptops," and "Zoom is not school." So that sounds to me like he's not a fan of the remote learning systems, which I cannot blame him for.
Would you? I mean, you were pretty riled up about the possibility you may have to do distance learning. Would you?
I would not have.
Would you commence to protesting?
To protest?
Has this given you a bit of an idea here?
Well, we're not doing remote learning.
You never know what could happen.
That's true. I don't know if I would protest at the school, because I think that they were doing like on again, off again, but I would definitely show up to a board meeting and make my voice heard, and I'm sure I'd have backers with me on that.
I'd go just to video it. I'd be a backer. No doubt about that.
I'd definitely do something. I couldn't just sit and take it, because
I can't sit idly by.
Because he makes a really good point, because this distance learning is not. It's not learning. That's not really fair. If it doesn't work for you, then it's not. It's not the same.
But it is still learning. I mean, distance learning, it can work. It does work for certain people.
Sure.
Right? Let's just make sure we clarify that and say that, like, for you, distance learning is not as effective as. Now, that being said.
Not as effective. I think that's a better way to say it. Yeah, learning's a bit strong.
I would argue that, though. I would argue that it could be. But it's like anything in life. Well, I think it's like anything in life. If you wanted it to work, you'd make it work. Connor, you're smart enough that if you get access to anything new, you're going to learn it, whether it's through YouTube, whether it's through how many things as we've walked along this journey, how many things in the last 6 months have we taken on that we didn't have a clue how to do, that we went and found a way to learn. And so learning takes place when we want learning to take place. And so, it's a preference thing, really. I think is really more the issue, because unless there's some statistics out there to prove that wrong. And again, I'm not saying you're wrong or anything, but I think it's more about you prefer, because it's more effective for you to learn in person. I prefer not to learn at all. But online learning would be okay for me because I'm not going to pay any more or any less attention there than I would there because I'm like kind of a self-learner. Like I just kind of, you know what I'm saying? I learn very differently. But I do believe that you could learn every bit that you would learn the other way online if you wanted to.
Maybe. And I think it is a matter of how you learn best. But for me personally, when I did, because I actually did in the semester before the lockdown, I took an online class out of necessity because
I remember that.
My schedule was weird. And that was my only option. And my big issue with that is that you don't have that guidance from a figure of, I don't want to say authority.
Well, a teacher.
A teacher, yeah. A mentor.
Someone to answer your questions. Really, that's what, that's the main part, right?
Yeah, and when you can't have, when you don't have that figure, you start to get discouraged. When you get discouraged, you get behind, and when you get behind and you have to catch up, now you're not trying to learn so much as you're just trying to finish, and you're trying to take shortcuts and cheat your way through. And at a certain point, you're not learning anymore. You're just trying. Your only incentive is to get through it.
Yeah.
So.
No, I totally get that. I get that. I think that it is, and there's certain things you could learn better distance. Like learning math for me was always very difficult.
This was a math class.
I had to sit at a whiteboard with a teacher and walk. Like algebra to me still doesn't make a lick of sense. X is always just going to be a number. Or a letter rather. It's just a letter. Like we're solving for something that doesn't exist. And in my opinion, like, I don't know. I'm a logical person. Like, so when you tell me to solve for the length of this side of the triangle, well, when I look at this one and I look at this one and this one's visually longer than the other two, when that number comes out longer than the other two, it's like, oh, okay, that's logical. Algebra was not logical to me in any capacity. Like, and most people are either algebra or geometry. Like, there's very few people do both well. And so I would have never been able to do algebra online. Like that would have been an impossible task for me because I had to have. So I get what you're saying completely, but it's just curious to me that they've taken legal action against this kid. Like it seems a little bit. I don't know. Seems a little bit over the top. Maybe that's just one man's opinion, but it is certainly my opinion, and I think it's a bit absurd. They've suspended him. They've done this. They've done that. It's like wow.
I think it's something that needs to be. Discussed. We actually need to take a look at these regulations and see because this is a perspective that really in the schooling, are we having school or are we not debate, you really haven't heard much from the students themselves. It's mostly been teachers versus lawmakers. That seems like the two perspectives you hear the most from in the whole debate. No,
you're right about that. And I think, again, November the 5th, I think everything changes, 4th, 5th, whatever it is. I think we start to see a bit of I think we see a change in the old Rona. I think it kind of starts to dissipate or disappear altogether. But let's go to a break. I want to discuss this new story that just has come out about the Attorney General in South Dakota. Have you heard this? He thought he hit a deer. Oops, it was a person, and they died. It's a crazy story. We'll dive into that when we get back. You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. I am your big, beautiful, bearded host. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
You go as hard as you can. And then a little harder.
And then it was like I stepped funny,
Mm-hmm.
and I could barely walk on.
Okay, let's take a look.
At Lang Chiropractic, we'll help your sports performance and your overall health by improving your range of motion, flexibility, relieving inflammation, and so much more. Focusing to improve your health and wellness in all areas of your life. Whether you're having trouble with back pain, neck pain, or just want to start feeling better when you wake up in the morning, Dr. David Lang is focused on a whole person approach, finding those underlying causes and creating a personalized plan for your individual needs. Schedule your visit by calling 256-444-1600. That's 444-1600 at Lang Chiropractic on Highway 72 East in Athens in the Publix Shopping Center. Visit us online at langchiropracticcenter.com. Lang Chiropractic, we've got your back. Come see us today.
Aardvark Tees is the source for all the t-shirts that you really want. Specializing in witty, original t-shirt designs geared toward gamers, anime fans, Whovians, kaiju groupies, geeks of all types, and anyone with a great sense of humor. Aardvark Tees provide shirts in all sizes from youth to 5XL. Whether you need custom printing for businesses, schools, churches, groups, reunions, and more. Call or message Aardvark Tees for your printing needs today. Call 256-732-4743 or online at aardvarktees.com.
This is Mike 4 years ago. This is Mike having the same conversation with Debbie just last month. And today, he's at it again.
What's that, Mike?
I said our house is still underwater.
How do you know? Have you had it appraised lately?
Oh, well, no.
Has the coronavirus made your life less financially stable? Are you worried about your next mortgage payment? Reed's Family REI is a family-based real estate investing company ready to buy your house for cash in any area or condition and close in 2 weeks. You don't have to fix it up. There's no agent fees, and we handle the closing costs. Selling a home can be very stressful, and Wyatt Reed and his team at Reed's Family REI will put together the best possible offer for your specific needs. Sell your home fast with Reed's Family REI. 931-292-2875. That's 931-292-2875. And online at reedsfamilyrei.org. Reed's Family REI. Creative real estate experts for all your buying or selling needs.
Karen's a quilter.
Karen's Quality Quilts. Quality custom quilts quickly.
How's the quilting business, Karen?
Kinda quiet. My quest to quadruple my quilting sales has created a quagmire.
Can I be candid, Karen?
Okay.
You need a website that can encompass the quality of your quilts.
I know quilts, but I know no computers. They're confusing.
But there are people who know coding like you know quilting.
Who's that?
I'm glad you asked. WebUnderdog creates websites that don't just catch the eye, they catch customers. And they're as user-friendly for you as they are for your clients. We build high-quality, clean, well-coded, custom designs for organizations of all sizes that are affordable, professional, and specially made for your brand and visitors. Outside of responsive web design, WebUnderdog also offers search engine optimization, website management, and so much more. Give your business the professional touch and contact WebUnderdog for a free web design quote. Call 256-998-0667. That's 998-0667 and online at webunderdog.com. WebUnderdog, your local web design and SEO agency.
In any home, cabinets are an instrumental part of your design. So, when you open your current cabinets, what instrument do they play? Wouldn't you rather they sounded like this? They can. It just takes one call to us.
Cabinet Express Online, North Alabama's premier cabinet supplier. Whether you want a complete custom kitchen or some of our RTA line, at Cabinet Express Online, you will get the most value out of your hard-earned money every time. Are you looking for framed or frameless? Either way, in no time at all, your dream kitchen can be a reality. And the only place you should trust to bring that dream to life is Cabinet Express Online. Schedule your free design consultation today with Cabinet Express Online. Call 256-289-7355. That's 289-7355. And online at CabinetExpressOnline.com. Design your custom kitchen today with Cabinet Express Online.
For up-to-the-minute news, log on to WVNN.com. Depend on it.
Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. I am Zach Walker. I'm big and bold and beautiful. I'm your bearded host here on the smartest, your favorite show on the radio every single day of the week. We are so happy to be with you today. We're so excited. We are growing like crazy. We've got new advertising partners joining us on a daily basis. I'm sitting here watching Mike Lindell from MyPillow demonstrate some of his towels, and they're towels that work. And we're super excited to tell you that they will be joining the show as advertising partners here on Hometown Heartbeat. You guys are going to get. They're working on a unique value proposition for you, the smartest listening audience in radio. I don't know if you guys have used. I've been a MyPillow customer for a while, and so you'll get to try. Connor, you'll get to try out a pillow since you're on-air talent. You know that?
Really? Yeah.
You're on-air talent.
Good, because I put that on my resume. Yeah. So I'm glad that it's official.
So, anyways, it's a fun time to be part of the Hometown Heartbeat family. We're growing like crazy. We are going to be moving probably off of Facebook as a live streaming platform and strictly to YouTube. Facebook makes life very difficult for you as a live streamer if you have any music element whatsoever. And they've released a new set of guidelines that are Gestapo-esque. They are the music Gestapo, and so we will be informing you of that kind of as it happens. But the last couple of things we want to talk about are some. There's been some vehicular loss of life, both here, and it's not funny at all. But both here in Athens locally, we had an incident yesterday where a young lady was. I say young. I mean, it was an adult lady that was run over by an F-350 at a school parking lot, and she passed away. And then news out of South Dakota. And this story, I find it a bit curious. South Dakota Attorney General Jason Ravensborg, what a name, recurring theme.
So it's not just on the left.
No. It's everybody has crazy names. Called to report that he hit a deer with his vehicle Saturday night on the way home from a political event. But authorities say he actually struck and killed a man rather than an animal. I'm sorry? I thought I struck. How many of you ever hit a deer? Connor, you've never hit a deer. I hope you never do. Have you hit a deer?
I've not hit a deer.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I would have talked about that on the show.
At some point, yes.
Yeah.
At some point, we would have talked about hitting a deer. I didn't know if it had happened. I realized I'd forgotten that you'd only been driving for 1 year prior to the show. So, not like you have some extensive. That's just freaking crazy to me. Good Lord. But anyways, I see deer on that's one thing I'm hyper aware of when I'm driving. You can ask my wife. Like I love driving through the night. I don't sleep. I'm a night owl. Like I would prefer she gets off work, we get in the car and we drive through the night. She and my son both sleep, and I drive and I listen to my podcast. I listen to my book on tape. I listen to whatever. And then we get there at 3, 4 in the morning. I can get a couple hours sleep, and we don't lose an entire day. That travel day, and when you're driving on a road trip, that's the day where you kill 2 days, right, each way. And so by driving overnight, you maximize your amount of time, and it doesn't bother me at all, and I enjoy it. So, but with that being said, driving at nighttime, there's deer all over the highway, right? They're all over the sides of the roads. You have to be hyper aware. And I can honestly say that I've almost hit multiple deer. I've had deer jump out in front of me. I've swerved from deer. And I've never not seen the deer. Like, I'm curious as to how this man, 10:30 on a Saturday night. Now, mind you, it's not like he's in some big truck. He's in a Ford Taurus. At 10:30, he hits a 55-year-old man on a highway. And he thought he hit a deer? Like I think there's something else going on here. It says in the story, Ravensborg, quote, drinks lightly, but the Attorney General had not been drinking on the evening of the crash. I wonder if there's blood work to support that.
Exactly.
Odds are, if we didn't find out till the following day, if we say I hit a deer last night, and then I'm going to bed, it's like there's something in this that doesn't feel right. I'm certainly not gonna indict somebody on hearsay or just an opinion, but something doesn't feel right about the way this is playing out. We will certainly see. There's an investigation ongoing now that will allow us to, I guess, hopefully find out a little bit more. But we've got Dan in Madison on line 4 joining us. Big Dan, bring it in here, big guy.
Well, here's the deal. I lived in Michigan for many years. Icy road one evening, and I also had a four-wheel truck. And what happened, a deer came out, and I had plenty enough time to reaction. I didn't have anything, alcohol, nothing to drink. Plenty enough time to slow down, and it was actually the size of a Bambi. I did hit it lightly, but not heavy, because I had pre-slowed down. So this guy here, I don't know, man. I mean,
Feels a little funny, doesn't it?
Sounds a lot funny.
Yeah, Dan, I think you work with a friend of mine on our softball team, Blake Williams.
Blake?
Yeah, Big Blake. He said he said he knows you. He's on my softball team.
Big dude. He's a big dude.
He lost 80 pounds, man. He's looking all skinny. And last night he was all about it too. Shout out to Blake. I told him I'd give him a little shout out this. Oh, he has been known to hit one pretty far. And last night he was showing off his speed. Now let me, for those of you that don't know Blake, and thanks for the call, Dan. For those of you that don't know Blake, Blake is still a big fella. Now he's 80 pounds less big, but he is still big. That's why I told him last night. I said, "Hey, big dog. Hey, man. Look, I know you've done lost 80, but you still in the man of girth club, okay? Like you didn't become Usain Bolt, but my man was out there being an athlete last night, and I love Blake. Blake's a really good dude. And I'm proud of him taking his health into his own hands, and I mean losing 80 pounds is unbelievable. And I told him, I kept giving him a hard time. I said, "Man, I'm just jealous, bro. I'm just jealous. Don't even worry about it. I'm just jealous." But Dan, he's a mailman. That's how I was like, "Wait a minute, do you know my friend Dan from Madison?" He goes, "Oh, yeah, I know Dan." So shout out to Blake Williams. But, no, I definitely think that Dan is spot on. I think that we're going to find something a little bit off here. I don't think you accidentally hit a deer at 10:30 at night. You don't see it. You just call and report it, and then you wake up the next morning and find out, oh, it was a 55-year-old man. Like, something about that just feels a little off to me. I've been wrong once, but it wasn't a Tuesday. And so I don't know, I don't know where this all lands. I'm sure that we will indeed find out when it's all said and done what happened, but it does, something about this just feels a bit strange. So there's a lot of strange out there. Listen, the hurricane looks like it's going to make landfall. They're talking about a Category 1. The winds are strengthening. We certainly want to keep those that are going to be in the path of that in our thoughts. And right now, the wind speed hovering around 85, 90, and it's moving in the northwest in the same track they expected. So keep those folks in your thoughts. Listen, make sure you go to our Facebook page. I'll put a picture up of the woke shirt. You need to comment on it and say, "I want one." You need to share it with your friends and let them know they should want one too, and we'll give one away by the end of the week. Go to thehometownheartbeat.com where you can see all things Hometown Heartbeat. You're listening to the best, the smartest show on radio, The Hometown Heartbeat. We'll see you guys tomorrow.